Hey, everybody, welcome back to our daily devotional. Pastor Tony here. And yes, I am wearing a hat because we just got back from a walk. And I have to do this video right now because we finally let our kids on devices. So it's quiet enough in our house to actually talk to you guys. So I wasn't going to let a little thing like a shower get in the way from bringing you your daily devotional. And today is actually a great day for the devotional because we're unpacking Matthew 21, verse 6, where it talks about the disciples untying the colt and then lying their cloaks on the colt for Jesus to sit on. What's interesting about this text is that the disciples oftentimes aren't that obedient to Jesus. They're very much like me or my kids. Sometimes they talk about Jesus, they question his decisions, sometimes they bicker, sometimes they want to do all the things that Jesus doesn't want them to do. And yet, in this moment, they actually do exactly what they're supposed to. And I think the gravitas of this moment is really being felt. It's one of those times where you walk into a room and you're like, there is something serious happening here. And I imagine that the disciples could feel that. In this moment, at this Bethpage, this Mount of Olives, they feel the moment. Now, the other part about this devotional that I really like, or rather this scripture that I really like for the devotional, is the idea of laying cloaks on the colt for Jesus. Now, when we think about this, we often think about like our cloaks, like a coat, like an overcoat or trench coat or whatever. But like the cloak in the traditional Jewish garb would have been part of the outfit. Like it was the outer layer of the outfit. It was like the shell in a lot of ways. And so it was very personal and intimate. And if you think about the way that these guys walked around the desert and were always on the move, they basically carried everything with them, right? They didn't have U-Hauls or they didn't have, pods, portable on-demand storage. They didn't have anything like that. So all they had was what they carried. And in this moment, what they do is they take off their outer layer and they put it down for Jesus to sit on. They become vulnerable so Jesus can continue his mission. And I think it's just a good model for Christianity. We've got to get away from this idea that we can shake our Bibles in people's general direction and expect them to all of a sudden fall in love with Jesus. Instead, the call is a little vulnerability, a little intimacy, a lot of obedience, and let's see what Jesus does. Because as Jesus begins to move in as the triumphant king, it's not on the back of this incredible war stallion. It's on a donkey with the intimacy and the vulnerability of people in his community that change everything. So I wonder where in your life right now do you need to be a little bit more vulnerable? Where do you need to be a little bit more obedient? Where do you need to be a little bit more intimate with Jesus? I'll leave you with this final quote. A mentor of mine gave it to me. That every thought, every action, and every desire right now, is either strengthening or weakening your relationship with Christ. Every thought, every action, and every desire right now is either strengthening or weakening your relationship with Christ. Hey, I'm praying for you this Holy Week. I'm praying that God speaks and that we're all courageous enough to listen. See you guys real soon.